But will Hearts steal the show at Celtic Park? Pre-presentation. Scott Booth alongside match commentator Ian Crocker.
Cheers, Rob. Well, Celtic's last two results against Hearts typified their season, really. 1-0 down in both. Became 2-1 up in both. Celtic never know when they're beaten. Come to think of it, they never know when they're drawing either. Kick off to a chorus of You'll Never Walk Alone, but Andrew Driver is trying to silence that. Looking for Pospisil. There's a stirring sound.
Yeah, there's absolutely no chance that Celtic fans are going to allow their team to switch off today. You can see that. Great atmosphere in the stadium.
Neil Lennon saw the ball disappear under his boot. McManus back from suspension. Stephen Presley, former captain of Hearts. Lee Naylor missed the title clinching victory at Kilmarnock through injury. Kingston. McManus tips Pospisil to it. Hearts are now 7 points behind Aberdeen in the race for a UEFA Cup place. They desperately need to make up some ground. Their need is urgent. Nakamura will get a free kick off Brelier.
Yeah, Nakamura started fairly centrally to begin with. Just trying to get involved.
Julian Brelier hurt himself challenging Nakamura and will need some treatment. Maciej Zarowski still sidelined. In fact, he hasn't played much of a part in the second half of the season.
Yeah, I do agree with John Hartson in the studio about the quality that Celtic have up front, and it may be just as a case of two players clicking. I'm sure one of those players will be Jan Fennerov Hesselink. Maybe from the pre-season games next season, there'll be a chance for a real combination to work for Celtic.
Nakamura's flick, Yarrison. Nakamura again! Straight at Craig Gordon, but a signal of intent.
Yeah, it really is a signal, and it's because he's, as I said, starting centrally. It's a lovely little hook round the corner. The midfield don't follow him. It's a decent strike on the end as well.
Pospisil and Presley go for it. Julian Brelier has returned.
Yeah, he's a very important player for Hearts. But as we all know, he's out of contract at the end of the season. Be interesting to see where he goes. Also very interesting the fact that Neil Lennon is leaving Celtic. Could there be a wee space for a Brelier at Celtic?
Karapidis. Zaliukis' clearance wasn't the best, but Karapidis will recover. Celtic giving a debut to Jean-Joël Perrier-Doumbé at right back. He arrived in January from the French club Rennes. Yarrison. McGeady. Kingston gets involved. Celtic champions for the 5th time in 7 seasons. Not many Celtic fans had heard of Lee Naylor until he arrived at the start of the season, but they know all about him now. He's been a considerable success.
Yeah, 5 times in 7 seasons, and then also losing it on the final day in the other 2. It's real consistency from Celtic over the last 7 years.
Kingston finding some space. Gonçalves linking up with Driver. Neil Lennon's going to slide in, much to the delight of the majority inside Celtic Park. Pospisil catching Presley, who was quickly on his feet.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard day for Pospisil up there on his own. As I said beforehand, Ivaskevicius will try and get there, but Hearts play it tight away from home in the SPL. They've only scored 18 goals this season away from home, Hearts. So that does suggest they're going to play it again tight today, but maybe they should open things up slightly to try and grab those 3 precious points.
Lennon. He'll be getting to grips with the SPL trophy again later. Not that Celtic have let it go too much out of their grasp all season. Ivaskevicius. Karapidis having his best run in the Hearts side. Kingston. Brelia. Gonçalves, who was suspended for last week's trip to Glasgow against Rangers.
Well, so far in the match, Jarosik is sitting fairly deep. Jan Fennerov Hesselink is up there more or less on his own.
McGeady looking to slide it through to Venegor of Hesselink, and it was stopped by Zaliukas. Lubomir Moravcik back in Glasgow to join in the celebrations. What a player he was. Presley for McManus. Naylor. Jarosik, who has scored in the last 2 games against Hearts, including that cracking winner at Tynecastle in January. Just when he looked like he was mooching around doing nothing. This is tidy from Celtic, and this is Naylor. Venegor of Hesselink unable to make contact, and Gonçalves can clear it.
Well, that's a dream that John Hartson mentioned before the game, as far as Naylor getting in the wide position, straight away gets his head up and gets a decent ball in.
Jarosik testing Craig Gordon. They renew the duel, those two.
Yeah, and this is also typical of Jarosik. It's on the ball, and a strike, a decent strike as well with his left foot. Keeps Craig Gordon on his toes.
Nakamura going short to McGeady. Craig Gordon there again. Made a very rare mistake here earlier in the season, Craig Gordon, which gifted Celtic an injury time winner.
Yeah, but you don't see too many of those from the Scotland goalkeeper. Normally a very safe pair of hands.
Naylor. Nakamura losing out to Mikalunas. He's recently returned from injury.
Yeah, he scored a cracker at Tynecastle.
Hearts have scored the opening goal in each of their games against Celtic this season. And we've had 3 2-1 scorelines. 2 of them, though, in Celtic's favour. Gonçalves. Ivaskevicius. He's got away from McManus. Ivaskevicius and Lennon have to cut that out for a corner.
Well, the Hearts played it well. He's strong, he's pacey. McManus is struggling to stay with him. Just trying to cut it back with his right foot.
Lee Naylor guarding the post. Kingston's corner. Sent back towards him by Perrier Doumbé. Kingston will try again, but this time Hartley's in the way. McGeady. Aberdeen's win over Kilmarnock yesterday, opening up a 7-point gap. Hearts have a lot to do to make it into Europe. But the crucial Hearts-Aberdeen clash that remains this season is at Tynecastle. Here is Mikalunas. Well, there he was.
That was a poor mistake. A great opportunity to attack down the right-hand side. With 2 Hearts players there completely unmarked. He just took his eye off the ball. The Celtic have started in a similar vein to last week, certainly in the style of play, with Jan Vennegoor up on his own, and then any one of 4 midfield players allowed to go and support from Celtic.
Perrier Doumbé claimed handball. Something could happen here for Hearts. Ivaskevicius looking for Mikalunas. Kingston now for Driver. Andrew Driver has kept his place in the team over the past few months. 19-year-old who hails from Oldham. Ivaskevicius for Driver. Neil Lennon sorts him out. Yarasek. No panic around their own box from Celtic. Naylor making great strides now. McGeady is there with him. So is Hartley. Lennon, McGeady, he's helped it on to Naylor, and this could be ominous for Hearts. Except that Naylor just showed too much of that to Zaliukas.
Yeah, but just Naylor's touch to let him down. He's too far ahead of him. Again, it's a very patient approach from Celtic, from the champions. They've been doing that all season. Build up from the back. Slow, methodical, and once they get into wide areas, that's when the pace comes in.
Robbie Nilsson is fit, but not involved in the Hearts squad today. Has been out injured for quite a while. Karapidas for Mikalunas. With Van der Snow missing the end of the season through injury as well, but he's certainly impressed in his first season at Celtic.
Yeah, he's been very good. Very composed young player in the heart of midfield. I think from Hearts' point of view, they really have to try and up a gear. Certainly try and get Kingston on the ball a bit more. He's not been involved at all in the early part of this match. 15 minutes gone and no real chances created. You would expect Hearts to try and take the game to Celtic. So far that hasn't materialised.
Mikalunas up against Naylor. And that could be an intriguing battle. Pospisil, Driver. Taking on the new boy, Doumbé. Hearts have only managed one win in 7 years of coming to Celtic Park. That was a couple of years ago. And Nakamura's been caught by Mikalunas, and he is going to receive a yellow card. He's had a bit of bother in his time as far as discipline goes.
Yeah, it's the other side of his game that we like to see. Shots on target, driving at defences, but he does have one or two like that as well.
Nakamura for Lennon. Presley for McManus. Celtic looking for a new captain. Stephen McManus, certainly one of the contenders. A leading contender.
Yeah, McManus had a great season. I'm sure he was sorry to miss out in the win last week.
Ivaskevicius held up by Jarosik. Stuart Dougal gets a touch. Poor touch from the ref. Nakamura for McGeady, and just look at the space in front of him. Aidan McGeady deflected. It came off Christophe Berra.
Yeah, Nakamura involved, gets McGeady on the ball. It's a wee sleight of foot there. It's going to be on target. I don't know if it's going to trouble Craig Gordon, but skipped off the head of Berra. It's a chance for Nakamura to play one of his balls in the box and create havoc.
Nakamura does indeed deliver, and McManus might have put Celtic ahead there.
Oh, it's a great ball in again. Perfect area. We spoke about it last week. McManus is on the end of it. He hasn't scored as many goals this season as last. Maybe that's why. If he just gets that down, Craig Gordon has got no chance, but all about the delivery.
Hearts haven't offered much yet, but that can happen when you come to Celtic Park. Nakamura. Perrier Doumbé. Oh, it's Venegora Hesselink, and it's plucked out of the air by Craig Gordon.
It's not a great chance. It's good play down the right hand side from Doumbé, sends the ball in. Perfect ball for Jan Finger of Hesselink. Again, if he can get it down low, it's going to trouble Craig Gordon more, but it's a good height for the goalkeeper.
Julian Brellier got a touch of treatment whilst all that was happening, but he's come back on. Naylor, cleared by Zaliukas, now Kingston. Driver, who has swapped sides for this attack with Mikalunas.
Just disappointed there, if you look at the Hearts side. No real numbers getting forward, no players driving in there trying to get in the box and create problems for Celtic. Just happy to sit back and allow the 2 or 3 attackers to try and do their job on their own. I think they'll have to be a little bit more adventurous if they're going to get all 3 points here today.
Karapidis preferred to Robbie Nelson in that right back roll. Brellier. Pospisil grappling and fouling Presley. Later you can vote for your Bank of Scotland Man of the Match. Call or text us, and if you agree with Scott Booth's choice and you're picked out as the winner, you'll get a signed shirt from the Man of the Match himself.
Yeah, you can see there's a lack of goals about this Hearts side. Of course, no Scatchell anymore. Jankowski's, Bednar, Pospisil, Elliott. No real return from them, and of course, as well as that, Velička is injured today. It doesn't leave them too many options up front.
Doumbé in agony.
I think it's Mikkel Yunus again that just catches him. Doesn't look too serious.
But it looks like Hearts going to have to make a change. Maybe Julian Brellier hasn't been able to shake off that knock. Thomas Kanchelski is getting ready. Trying to set Hartley on his way. Smashed into the stand by Gonçalves. Nakamura, whose free kick clinched the title in highly dramatic circumstances last week. And then in the evening he was voted Scottish PFA Player of the Year and got the Goal of the Season award as well. Apart from all that, he had a rotten day. Berrier Doumbé in towards Vennegoor and Hesselink. Julian Brellier is going to be replaced shortly. Mikalunas, seeing what it's like on the left side. Nagidi. Kingston. Mikalunas. Mikalunas may well be able to deliver here, although there aren't many options in the box. Berrier Doumbé keeping him occupied. Neil Lennon never far from the scene either.
Yeah, that was the problem. I mean, there was only one player in the box for Hearts.
Kingston's had a pop from range.
Well, we know he's a player of real class, but it's a poor effort. He hasn't been in the game at all so far, Laria Kingston.
So Julian Brellier never recovered from that knock he took whilst making a challenge in the opening stages. He's replaced by Thomas Kanchelskis. Fairly innocuous, but Brellier having to quit the game, and on comes another Lithuanian, former captain of Kaunas, one of umpteen players who have come from Kaunas to Hearts. Hartley felt that he was held then, but no one else did.
The ball just knocked back. Paul Hartley, tenacious as ever, trying to get in behind, and he is being held there, you can see quite clearly.
So Kanchelskis partnering Christoph Berer at the back now, and Zaliukas moving into midfield, where he did initially play, although not particularly effectively. Zaliukas much better at centre half than in midfield.
Yeah, I think Craig Burley's a big fan of him in midfield. It's certainly not his best position. Very decent centre half though, Zaliukas.
Gordon Strachan has emulated Martin O'Neill's achievement by winning the title in his first 2 seasons in charge. One week they were booing him for taking off Derek Riordan at Hampden, and the next week they were cheering him for clinching the championship. That's life as an Old Firm manager.
Yeah, but it's great to see that he possibly feels it's the right move to stay and try and do it 3 times in a trot, make it a hat-trick of SPL wins. Of course, if he did that, then he certainly would have legendary status here at Celtic Park.
Offside that'll be against Jan Vennegoor of Hesseling.
But it is all good for Celtic at the moment as well. If you think about the reserves, 6 successive championship for the reserve team. A lot of money now here at Celtic Park because of their Champions League run. 2 successive titles. Cup final to come. It's not too bad. Pretty rosy here at Celtic Football Club.
Sense of power there. Driver chipping away. Jarosik, unsuccessfully so. McManus screening it.
You'd have to say that if Hearts have something about them today, they have a real chance to bag a win, because so far Celtic have been fairly cagey. They haven't really got going at all.
Perrier Doumbé giving Nakamura something to chase. He certainly worried Gonçalves.
Gonçalves has got real pace. That's something that Nakamura doesn't have. A lot more tricky when Nakamura's on the ball in front of him, though.
Perrier Doumbé's throw. Pospisil on his own. Naylor. Magidi taking on Karapidis. Karapidis got the ball. Pospisil tripped by Lennon. Karapidis will take the free kick. Steered away by McManus for Naylor. And bounces off Mikalunas, who has now returned to the right.
Yeah, this season really has been a letdown for Hearts. Certainly in the cup competitions, it's been a disaster for them. Champions League, UEFA Cup, Scottish Cup and the League Cup, all out. As far as the Championship's concerned, of course that's gone. And only a faint glimmer for 3rd spot.
That was brand new.
Kanchelski's wrapping his arms around Vennegoor of Hesseling. Hearts have only lost 4 times on their SPL travels this season, but 3 of those defeats were in the city of Glasgow. Naylor takes it. Stamped away by Berra. Naylor tries again. Stopped by Kanchelskis this time. Perrier Doumbé strong in the challenge. Jarosik for Magidi. Kanchelskis has got his eye on that though.
That was good reading of the game from Kanchelskis. A couple of strong tackles as well.
Magidi. Naylor. Hearts get the decision. Half an hour played, no goals. And a party to come later for Gordon Strachan and Celtic. Champions again, and by some distance this season.
Yeah, Gordon Strachan's done a great job here. He's only lost 13 matches in 2 seasons. It's not a bad record, is it?
Mikalunas. Ivaskevicius and Pospisil has to wait for his colleagues to reach the box. Karapidas. Driver. Karapidas suddenly popping up on the left wing.
Yeah, I've been a little bit unsure about Karapidas, but he started this game very well, both defensively and trying to get forward.
Gonçalves, Portuguese under-21 international. Driver's flick. McManus under pressure from Mikalunas, although not so you would have noticed.
Yeah, that's the point. McManus and Presley are just strolling through this match. Far too easy for them.
Neil Lennon for Yuri Jarosik, a tormentor of Hearts in previous encounters this season. Played really well, Hearts, when they last came to Celtic Park and should have won the game. 1-0 up with 4 minutes to go. Tried to lose.
It's fairly obvious that Hearts are trying to keep things tight today. They know they don't score a lot of goals away from home, so if they can keep it tight and try and sneak one at some point, they'll be more than happy.
McGeady. Stuart Dougall's played the advantage there. He was about to give a free kick against Hartley. Mikalunas. And Manus not hanging around.
I don't think that would be a bad shout to have McManus as captain of Celtic next season. Been ever present this season, that's for sure.
Karapidas for Kingston. Hartley snapping away, and that might well be a yellow card for Paul Hartley, facing his former club for the first time since leaving them. Stuart Dougall's having none of that. Hartley's booked.
Yeah, I think Paul Hartley has had a couple given against him. He feels anyway, and just stayed in there a little bit too late.
Hartley joins Mikalunas in the book. Driver's free kick. Nearly sneaked through, but Boruc's capable.
Yeah, I think it was Mikalunas that almost got on the end of it. A decent ball in from Driver.
Perrier Doumbé on his debut. Can Celtic get the championship party going? By scoring. McGeady. Jarosik. A little kick in front of Craig Gordon there. It could have proved tricky.
Yeah, that wasn't easy for Craig Gordon. As you see, Jarosik was a fair distance out, but just drops and pops up in front of Craig Gordon. There's a real lack of pace in this match so far, Ian. From a Celtic point of view, I'd just like to see McGeady staying wide, try and get on the ball in wide areas and then get driving at Karapidas. His movement's been inside, I think, too much the first 35 minutes of this match, but here he goes.
Naylor picks him out perfectly. McGeady in. Craig Gordon, though, will gather. A crunch game at Love Street tomorrow, as St Mirren and Dunfermline fight for survival. It'll be a nervous night, and we'll be there from 7 on Setanta Sports 1. Ivaskevicius. Stephen McManus saw a shot coming and was quick to snuff it out. Now McGeady can feed Naylor. Naylor in towards Venegora Hesselink. And McGeady. And it's just wide, and Craig Gordon was flat-footed.
It's just great football from Celtic. Naylor picks out Jan Fingerhoff Hesselink, not in the air, on the deck, and he holds it up really well. Gives McGeady a chance to get on the end of things. When he picks it up here, Craig Gordon is unsighted, doesn't move at all. If it's on target, it's in the net.
5 goals this season for Aidan McGeady, but all 5 have come in the second half of matches, so he was peaking a bit too early there.
It's very strong play from Jan Fingerhoff Hesselink. Had to delay, there was no real support initially when he picked out the pass from McGeady.
Perrier Doumbé, who lost his place to Mario Melchiot at Rennes, the former Chelsea and Birmingham player. McGeady. Nakamura. Ivaskevicius has only got Pospisil with him, and Nakamura stopping him in his tracks. Later you can vote for your man of the match. Those are the numbers to call or text, and if you agree with Scott Booth's choice and you're picked down as the winner, you will get a signed shirt from the Bank of Scotland man of the match.
You saw the Ivaskevicius just getting caught on the ball. Perrier Doumbé was out of his area at right back. There was space there to be attacked. Just not positive enough.
Zaliukas for Mikalunas. Here's Ivaskevicius. Some long names out there today on both teams. Gonçalves. Lee Naylor wasn't quite sure of where Mikalunas was. It's been a pretty tame end of season fare so far, but Hearts need to get some sort of result today if they are to keep Aberdeen in their sights in the quest for European football. Karapidas. Zaliukas' cross, easy for Boris.
There's been a real problem so far in this match for players like Paul Hartley and Kingston to get on the ball and make passes. Fairly condensed midfield area. Celtic with 5 players in there. And you can see that Paul Hartley at the moment is struggling to try and find the room in which to play in.
Jarosik. McGeady. McGeady trying to thread it through.
Maybe he could have just threaded it through to Nakamura. He was in a great position. He went for the shot himself. He could have just slid the ball through to Nakamura and it would have left him a fairly easy chance.
Mikalunas taken out by Lennon, free kick. Final 5 minutes of the first half. Gonçalves. Saliukas will return it to Kingston. Hearts only made a couple of changes to their team today. They had been on a 4 changes a game average for most of the season.
I think it's now 169 changes in 44 games.
Thanks for that, Stato.
Yeah, I was doing my homework.
Nakamura. McGeady. Offside. Venegora Hesseling. Put it wide anyway, but the flag was up.
Yeah, it was the wrong run. He didn't bend his run. He went in behind. You see it here. Yep. Without a doubt, offside. If he just bent his run a little bit more, it could have been a goal to the better in this match.
Talking of stats, 16 goals in 26 games for Jan Venegora of Hesseling. If he keeps that kind of ratio going, Celtic will continue to win trophies.
Absolutely, and when you saw him just earlier holding the ball up, it was certainly a la John Hartson, who's in the studio. That's what he does give Celtic, Jan Venegora of Hesseling. A little bit of, for me anyway, a little bit of John Hartson and a little bit of Chris Sutton.
Kingston.
What we need in this match is a little bit of invention, because so far there hasn't been too much of it. You can see why Celtic are happy to play away like this. They've already got the championship in the bag, but Hearts really need to do more.
Kingston. Well, he is capable of providing some invention, but not that time. It's actually going to be a throw for Hearts, much to Celtic's bemusement. Leader McGeady having a word with Derek Clark, the assistant referee. Hearts not exactly in a hurry to take this. Nobody seems to be in much of a hurry today. Karapidis, Yarasic. Now Celtic could surge out. Ada McGeady, Hartley making the run, and challenged by Kanchelskis, who got the ball.
Yeah, it was a good challenge. It was the first opportunity for Paul Hartley to go on the break on the counter-attack. That's when there's a little bit more space for him.
We're in the last minute of the first half. There's going to be 2 minutes added on. There's not been much to report so far, but a throw in here for Karapidis.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to hear what Frail and Konabucha say about their side's performance in the first half, because it's been fairly pedestrian.
Hearts with plenty to play for. Celtic, of course, have got the job done, but they would still like to kick off the party in some style by winning. Hearts beat Celtic in the second week of the season, but it wasn't a sign of things to come. Celtic didn't lose again in the SPL for 7 months. McGeady now. Venegor of Hesselink. Here's Hartley. The former Tynecastle hero loses out. And they're giving him the run around.
Yeah, it's now keep ball for Celtic. They do look like a side who just went on that final push over the last 3 or 4 weeks, and today the tank is a little bit empty.
Championes is the cry around Celtic Park. The fans amusing themselves because there's not been too much to shout about on the pitch. It can sometimes be like this the week after you've won the title. Nakamura, a goal on the stroke of half-time would certainly raise the decibels. McGeady and Perrier Doumbé. Hartley was furthest forward. Well, Gordon Strachan will be hoping that his team offer a little more in the second half as they try to break down Hearts, who need some sort of result today in the quest for Europe. It's 0-0 at half-time.
And they're the best in the world. But sometimes unless you get an early goal, and unless the team they're playing really good free-flowing football, it can be very quiet at times. But I'm sure it'll change if Celtic can maybe snatch a goal here, because as soon as they can score a goal, they'll be all off the seats and they'll be up singing again.
I'm not sure if I should say this, but it's nearly 10 years since there was a goalless draw between Celtic and Hearts. That was March '98. It's goalless here halfway through. There's Lee Wallace, a half-time change for Anatoly Korobotchka and company. And having got it to 0-0 at half-time, you just wonder whether Hearts will now see that as a platform from which they can be a little bit more expansive. But they will also think that maybe Celtic are waiting for just that decision, and they will look to pick off Hearts if Hearts commit too many players forward. Let's enjoy the second half and then the trophy presentation to follow with Scott and with Ian.
Thank you, Rob. Yes, Celtic stifled by a stubborn Hearts side so far. Jose Gonçalves going off with a calf injury to be replaced by Lee Wallace, just 19 years of age, signed a long-term deal at the start of this season. Celtic hoping to find a way to goal in the second half. They've certainly given it a go in that respect, although I suspect they have more to offer. Wouldn't have guessed it from Hearts' performance so far, but they do need some sort of result here, and probably a win actually, to try and keep up with Aberdeen in the race for UEFA Cup place before they take on the Dons at Tynecastle.
Yeah, but the worrying thing for Hearts was that Celtic were in cruise mode in that first half and they still created the best chances. So they will have to try and change things significantly in this second half.
Hearts also were forced to make a change in the first half when Julian Brellier hobbled off. Thomas Kanchelskis came on, and that meant that Marius Zaliukas had to move into the midfield. Stuart Dougal has a bit of an injury, we hear. Lariah Kingston ran into him and he's feeling some pain in his ribs. Lennon, Hartley and Nakamura. come off Nakamura.
There's certainly no obvious tactical changes from either side. Pospisil still up on his own for Hearts. Ivaskevich just trying to get there in support. And the same other side with Jan Finneroff Hessling up there on his own. Certainly more ably supported through Hartley and McGeady and Nakamura.
Kingston. Karapidas.
I completely agree with Craig Burley in the studio as well about Kilmarnock last week against Celtic. Such an open, refreshing game to watch. And when you think that Hearts have still everything to play for as far as European football is concerned next season, you would like to see them just come out in the second half and try and be a lot more attacking.
Nakamura. Venegora Hesselink. McManus underneath that is Stephen Presley, who has become only the third player, we reckon, to win championship medals with Rangers and Celtic. Mo Johnson did it in the 80s and Alec Bennett did it in the early 1900s. Christoph Berra for Lee Wallace. Andrew Driver came up against Jean-Joël Perrier-Doumbé.
He hasn't let himself down so far. He's been very decisive in the tackle, Perrier-Doumbé.
Gary Colwell had been playing in that role in the last few games. John Kennedy made an outstanding return last week after 3 years out, and he looked like he hadn't been away, alongside Craig Beattie there.
I'm sure that as Perrier-Doumbé is finding today, it's a lot easier though when you come into a side with a very good defence. Even though the Celtic defence last week was a little bit unfamiliar with 4 centre halves along the back line.
Naylor did well to deliver. He was up against it. Nakamura. Neil Lennon for Nakamura. And now Perrier-Doumbé. Rangers the only team to win here at Celtic Park this season, and Dundee United the only other team to take a point. Nakamura, Perrier-Doumbé, and Jarosik heads over.
Well, Hearts are just opened up there. Again, it was Nakamura pulling the strings. Good overlapping full-back play from Perrier-Doumbé. Cross maybe just a little bit too high for Jarosik to get down.
Celtic into double figures, but they just can't manage to score yet. Mind you, they have often happily plugged away this season until they do. Ivaskevicius. Jarosik made the challenge. Lennon benefited. Here's McGeady. Ivaskevicius again. Given away all too easily. Nakamura. Zaliukas. One back by Hartley, who was then held back. Neil Lennon. Steered away by Kanchelskis, but only to Naylor. It's a foul by Mikalunas on Naylor.
That's an embarrassment of riches here. Lee Naylor giving way to Nakamura on the left side. Send this ball in.
And Manis joins Jarosik and Venegor of Hesseling in there. Nakamura delivers, but Craig Gordon found it rather tricky after all.
Well, you can see exactly what he's saying. Someone from his defence should be shouting, let it go. It's not going anywhere. It's going to go out for a goal kick.
Standing ovation for Shunsuke Nakamura as he heads over for that corner. Nakamura, a delight to watch. Pospisil met his corner. Nakamura, Jarosik. Now, a free kick, and we know what that means. It means Shunsuke Nakamura.
It means you wouldn't bet against it. The Hearts have been far too far off of Celtic, allowing them to play and to get into areas like this. Far too easy. Got to be a lot more up and at them in their faces before they could possibly find themselves a goal down.
10 of his 17 Celtic goals have been direct from free kicks. Nakamura trying to catch out Scotland's number one, Craig Gordon, who was certainly scrambling across. He's having a right pop at Mikalunas, I think it was.
Yeah, he was. And he had to scramble here as well. He wasn't quite sure. Just a couple of foot out. It's another great left foot free kick from Nakamura, but Craig Gordon was having a pop at Mikalunas, I think, because of his defensive duties.
Kingston. Boric's not too bothered by that. Hearts remaining unadventurous, but it's still 0-0.
You just look how far off the Hearts players are. Allowing midfield players to come and take it like that, spread it around.
Celtic spraying the passes around indeed. Naylor. Oh, it's Hartley coming in, looking for his first Celtic goal. Wouldn't it be ironic if it came against Hearts?
I wouldn't be surprised, but it was great football again from Celtic. They've been allowed to play and get it up this left channel. Naylor sending the ball in, Hartley almost getting on the end of it. A telling cross again from Naylor. It's a good height. Difficult for the goalkeeper to come. And Hartley almost capitalised. I spoke before, Ian, about how Celtic have been grinding out results this season, and you wouldn't be surprised if they do it again today. They have identical goals for and against us. Rangers do in second place, but still a huge points gap, and that is because they do manage to win by the odd goal.
Ivaskevicius. Driver lost out to the energetic Perrier Doumbé. Ivaskevicius for Kingston. Neither here nor there from Lariah Kingston. Awful effort. Thomas Gravison amongst the subs for Celtic today hasn't really proved to be a hit after his arrival from Real Madrid. Nakamura, Hartley for Perrier Doumbé. This is Christophe Berra. Hartley, McGeady. It's a game that doesn't half need a goal. Kingston. Ivaskevicius. Oh, he's through here, and he scored! Hearts have the lead at the home of the champions. Kęstutis Ivaskevicius may well be keeping their European dream alive.
This all came about from an error from Nakamura. It's not like him, but then Hearts managed to get in behind, and that's a lovely finish. A little bit of luck here. Ivaskevicius, it just skips past 3 Celtic players with the outside of his right foot, just flicks it over Boric. It's a calm, composed finish. And against all the odds, Hearts go 1-0 up.
Well, Hearts have now scored the first goal in all 4 of their meetings with Celtic this season. But of course, on the last 2 occasions, Celtic came back to win 2-1. Ivaskevicius celebrates his first goal for Hearts, who pooped the party for Hibs a few weeks ago, just as they were getting ready to celebrate their League Cup success. Hearts beat their Edinburgh rivals at Easter Road, and here they are again in the role of party poopers.
Yeah, we did say that Ivaskevicius would be the one that would try and get up in support of Pospisil. That didn't come about really through play by Hearts in midfield, other than a mistake though by Nakamura. Uncharacteristic mistake as well. He got caught on the ball, just delayed that fraction too long. But Hearts capitalised.
Celtic's response is to prepare some subs. Well, a rare attack for Hearts in this game, and they have a goal and a lead to hang on to. And of course, a win here would close the gap on Aberdeen in the race for UEFA Cup place to 4 points. Kingston. Kingston eventually taken out. There's going to be a yellow card here for Naylor.
And a similar run from Kingston as last week when he fed Velitska on that occasion and Velitska scored. Just hasn't done enough of this in this game. Naylor coming across him.
Naylor joining Hartley and Nikolunas in the book, and a free kick in a very useful position for Hearts as we approach the hour mark in Glasgow's East End.
That could be a really vital goal for Hearts. We've spoken already about 3 points here and putting more pressure on Aberdeen for that 3rd spot. It hasn't looked likely today, but it just shows you.
It's Driver! It's a fantastic free kick. Boric beaten by Andrew Driver. 2 quick goals for Hearts, and they are back in the race for UEFA Cup place. But Celtic's title-winning party is falling flat.
Well, I think this young lad's been watching Nakamura. It's very similar. Very, very good free kick. It's up and it's over. It's difficult because it's quite close to goal to get it up and down. He has no problem with it. It's a great finish from Driver, and Boric didn't even move.
Yes, anything Nakamura can do, Andrew Driver can do as well, and the 19-year-old who scored on his debut against Inverness early season has given Hearts a cushion here.
Well, he deserves it as well, because certainly the games I've seen from Hearts this season, he's one of their best players. He's only 19 years old. There's a bit of pressure on that, even though they're 1-0 up. He was the one with the responsibility of taking the free kick, and he took it with some aplomb. So now it's about how hungry Celtic are to get back into this game. As we spoke about before the match, not have their party spoiled. Gordon Strachan was pretty emphatic about that. Didn't want that to be the case, but Hearts have certainly built up a decent lead in this match now.
And they'll make no apologies for stifling and frustrating Celtic in the first half. It's a plan that has worked out rather well, as it happens. Hearts sitting pretty on a 2-0 lead. Perry Doumbé is going to get a free kick.
Perry Doumbé does well again, because he's got the pace. He's an athletic player, and he is trying to stretch Hearts down that side.
Well, time and again this season, Celtic have come from behind to grind out a result. Will they start the recovery here? Nakamura's free kick met by Pospisil. Nakamura somehow made the room. Oh, it's brilliant! And it's been glanced in by Stephen Presley, would you believe? The former captain of Hearts scores against them, and maybe Celtic are on course for yet another comeback.
Well, I just think the whole of the Hearts defence were looking at Nakamura here and in awe at his brilliance, and then the ball arrives. And Stephen Presley's not got a lot to do at all. It's pinpoint accuracy. No one's marking from Hearts. Presley steals in, and he's not going to miss from there. No chance for Craig Gordon. And as we've seen so often this season, Celtic bouncing back.
There you go, Hearts again though. We've got a game on now. It's taken a while, but it is most definitely game on. Kingston unable to bring down McGeady. Mikalunas can't stop him either. And all of a sudden, it's become very lively. And well, the three previous meetings between these teams this season all ended in a 2-1 scoreline, and here we are at 2-1 again.
Well, that is quite often the case that it takes a goal to liven up a match, but on this occasion it's taken 3 goals to do that. The fans are now with it. The chase is on for Celtic. You really feel that that might make them get the bit between the teeth.
3 goals in a 6-minute spell.
I always thought there was goals in this match.
But not that many that quickly. Gordon Strachan's side launching another salvage operation after falling 2 down. Driver. Karapidas. Zaliukas. Driver, his free kick then. Proving decisive at the moment. He's going to run out of room there. That's a goal kick. Kenny Miller waiting in the wings.
Well, he would certainly add a lot more urgency to this match. But Nakamura again, the creator, with 2 men against him, both bamboozled, and then to deliver such a cross of accuracy. The Hearts players just fell asleep and allowed Presley to steal in.
There is Presley. Trust him to score against Hearts. Maybe Paul Hartley's due one now.
Yeah, you wouldn't bet against him getting the equaliser.
Pospisil, fouled by Presley. It is a very familiar scoreline between Celtic and Hearts. Previous two meetings, Celtic came from 1 down to win 2-1 both times. They'll need another epic comeback today, but they're on their way. Kenny Miller will be on his way very soon. He's going to come on for Yuri Yarosik.
And dare I say, another quiet game from Yarosik.
Well, that's one thing he does specialise in. Ivaskevicius, who started the scoring spree. Terry Jumbe heads it away. Mikalunas. And Boritz dealt with that. Mikalunas has stayed down. Maybe a touch of cramp. Mikalunas wants the game stopped, but he's just got to get up or get on with it. Celtic aren't too bothered by the fact that he's staying down. McGeady. Nakamura. McGeady. Terry Doumbé. Good stop from Gordon. Celtic Park has come alive. Mikalunas has finally got back on his feet. Hearts raging that Celtic didn't stop the play, but they have no reason to. Kingston. Oh. He has showed some tantalising touches. Kingston. Mikalunas and Kingston. And a penalty is given. There's going to be a yellow card shown to Stephen Presley, and it's all happening now at Celtic Park.
Well, Kingston picks the ball up here and it's just bobbling up. He gets a little touch in it and you can see there Stephen Presley comes across the face of him. Just how much contact is that? Well, there's plenty of contact. Both from his leg and then his elbow comes across, and that's why Kingston's on the deck. And that's also why Presley didn't say too much about the yellow card.
Well, Hearts have an opportunity to restore a 2-goal lead. Kingston, though, needed some treatment before it can happen. Pospisil waiting to take the penalty. It's the first penalty Celtic have had given against them in the SPL since the middle of last season, January 2006, against Kilmarnock.
Again, the impression there was a bit of uncertainty over who should take the penalty for Hearts.
Pospisil has not let that ball go. But we have a wait, which will add to the anxiety for Pospisil. Kingston still trudging off the field, so we're not going to have it just yet. Celtic fans doing their best to put Pospisil off. Here comes Pospisil. He took it so well. It is 3-1 to Hearts now. And this might be expecting too much even for Celtic to come back from.
Well, he did take it well, because Boric goes down quite early, and he guesses right, Boric. Pospisil gets enough height on it to take it over the Polish goalkeeper, and that's a very important goal for Hearts. As you see, and that might make it too difficult for Celtic to come back. If that is the case, it would set up a real biggie for Hearts next week against Aberdeen.
Kingston is going to come back on, and Neil McCann is going to take the place of Mikalunas. McCann, who famously scored a couple of goals here when Rangers won the title on that crazy day in 1999. He's the last of the Hearts subs to be used. Stuart Dougal is ordering Gordon Strachan away from the touchline. Well, that happened when these two teams met at the start of the season. Strachan and John McGlynn were ordered off, and Strachan has to walk again.
Yeah, and just before leaving, Gordon Strachan shook the hand of the referee. I don't know if that was an indication that he maybe had said something he shouldn't have.
So Yuri Jarosik goes off, and Kenny Miller comes on. Miller, who's had a disappointing SPL return this season, only 4 goals in the league.
As you can see here, Gordon Strachan, this is why he's sent to the stand there. I think he was in the wrong place. That was the Hearts bench. He shouldn't have really been in that.
Kingston is certainly in the wars at the moment.
See it there. Kenny Miller just catching the back of Kingston's heel on the Achilles.
So Gordon Strachan, for the second time this season, ordered from the dugout against Hearts. 4 goals in 14 minutes at Celtic Park. Hands up who saw that coming. He's moving about, trying to hide there.
You have to say there wasn't too much in that, but it's obviously in the rules that you're not allowed to go to the Hearts bench during the match. It must be something along that lines before Stuart Dougal felt the need to send the Celtic manager to the stand.
Well, the last time anyone put 3 goals past Celtic, it was Hearts a year ago tomorrow. 3-0 at Tynecastle. Questions have been asked of Celtic this season. They've usually come up with the answers, but they're going to have to come up with some serious answers here. And Lee Wallace is going to be in bother with Stuart Dougal now for that challenge on Nakamura.
Well, Lee Wallace is not the only fullback, left-sided fullback to have problems with Nakamura this season.
Celtic were to score here, we would have a fascinating final 15 minutes to enjoy. Will Nakamura provide again? It's actually Neil Lennon.
Well, Neil Lennon was completely taken by surprise there. Not sure why Nakamura played it back to him, of all people. He'd normally have a strike at goal.
Celtic are annoyed now. 3-1 down. Nakamura and Craig Gordon unable to keep hold of it under pressure from Vennegoor of Hesselink. Pospisil an outlet. He's got Driver available. Hearts on the counter-attack. McManus will clear. Ryden's going to be on soon. Foul by Ivaskevicius on McGeady. You can vote for your man of the match by calling or texting us, and if you agree with Scott Booth's choice and you're picked out as the winner, you'll get a signed shirt from the Bank of Scotland man of the match. Naylor. Perrier Doumbé. Corner.
Yeah, he's played well down that right-hand side with Nakamura today. It's been a good debut from him.
Shinsuke Nakamura to take it. Some big boys to aim for. It's crafty from Nakamura, and Zaniukas took it away from the out-rushing Perrier Gordon.
Again, it was right into that area where Nakamura tends to play it. So far, Hearts are reading that.
Nakamura, not one of his better ones, but he might get another chance. He does. Miller and Presley nearly over the line, but Kingston seemed to stop it and seemed to enjoy it. Stephen Presley nearly scored again against Hearts. Gave away the penalty as well. Ivaskevicius.
I think Kenny Miller should have done better. He had the first chance, the first bite at the cherry, and he sclaffed his shot.
Well, it's a shame the game couldn't have been like this from the off, really. Nakamura, Miller, Lennon, McGeady, Presley again, and Craig Gordon with a fine save to deny the man whose captaincy he took.
It's a great effort from Presley. Neat footwork again from McGeady. He's looking for the 1-2, but Presley turns himself, and look, that's a really good touch from the Scotland goalkeeper. Craig Gordon just gets his fingertips to it.
Celtic giving it a go now. Nakamura with another teaser. Ryden and Thomas Gravison are going to be on soon for Celtic as they look for a way back in the last 10 minutes. Gravison and Ryden will have to wait for this free kick. Nakamura in towards Miller. It was duly dealt with by Kanchelskis. Double change. Aidan McGeady's coming off. Along comes Derek Ryden, who's certainly proved to be popular with the Celtic fans, even though he hasn't had too many chances to show what he can do this season. And Neil Lennon, who will quit Celtic at the end of the season, is given a great ovation as he departs for Thomas Gravison. We're into the last 10 minutes. It has become quite a contest. Naylor's throw doesn't fall favourably for Celtic, but you could see them scoring again. Berra with a missed kick. Stephen Presley staying up. And Pospisil is onside. Can Hearts score 4? A tame effort from Pospisil.
Yeah, and it was Paul Hartley that got back to put pressure on him. Certainly an open match now. Presley or Kenny Miller had taken that chance, would have set up a phenomenal last 10 minutes here.
Terrier Doumbé, who's had a solid debut, Cameroon international, offside against Venegor of Hesseling.
Well, here's where Laria Kingston came to the rescue of Hearts. First it's Kenny Miller who sclaps his shot, then Presley, he gets there, but not quite sure exactly where that hits Kingston. You can see it looks like it's just off his shoulder, but tell you what, that's close to being over the line. So difficult to tell. Certainly the right place at the right time for Kingston.
A massive game at the bottom of the SPL from 7 o'clock tomorrow on Setanta Sports 1. St Mirren and Dunfermline fighting for survival and battling it out with each other at Love Street. Terrier Doumbé's cross. Oh, it's still up for grabs, and Craig Gordon does grab it.
Well, if this has been Hearts' game plan today, to keep it tight and then nick 1 or 2 goals, well, they've got 3. Certainly has gone to plan. We've got to give Celtic some credit now as well, because they are trying to get themselves back into this match. They could just fold and allow the result to stand. As Gordon Strachan has so often said this season, they hate to lose. So he'll keep trying to the end.
Pospisil gathered by Boruts. Venegor Hesseling's going to get a free kick off Christophe Berra. Berra's reaction will mean that Stuart Dougal has to issue a warning. Naylor. Nakamura. Stephen Presley. Fletcher playing up front. Celtic have kind of specialised in scoring late goals this season. Gravison, Venegor and Hesseling. So you can vote for your Bank of Scotland man of the match by calling or texting us, and if you agree with our choice and you're picked out as the winner, you'll get a signed shirt from the man of the match. Andrew Driver, certainly a candidate, scored with a free kick to put Hearts 2-0 up. Natalie Korobotchka, the latest head coach. Nobody's quite sure what's happening next season at Hearts, but then nobody's quite sure what's happening next week at Hearts. Romanov has got through a few coaches in his time.
But just of late, Ian, there's been a little bit more consistency in the team selection of Hearts. I think that has made a bit of a difference. They've only got 5 or so more minutes to hold on in this match to set up a huge game next week against Aberdeen.
Gravison takes it. Driver. Wallace bounced off Nakamura. Zaliukas. can. Kingston.
Well, it certainly has been a smash and grab performance from Hearts. He's never really controlled the game. Celtic had the best of the first half chances, but when they got their 3 goals, they've looked pretty comfortable from there on in.
First visiting team to score 3 goals here since Dundee United did so in the middle of last season. Can they get a 4th? Driver trying to catch out Boritz. 1994, the last time Celtic conceded 4 here. That was against Rangers. Gravison looking for Kenny Miller, but easily cut out by Kanchelskis.
It's good play from Gravison, he just couldn't get the pace right on the pass.
Terrier Doumbé for Nakamura. McManus in there. Kingston.
Certainly intent there from Celtic. Got 3 players playing up front, and now they've thrown McManus up there too.
Gravison. Benegora Hesseling. Lee Naylor. Oh, it's inviting. Kanchelskis just took it away from McManus.
It's another top-class cross from Lee Naylor.
Gravison's powerful throw, headed behind by Zaliukas. Celtic need a goal now. It'll be a frantic few minutes if they do. Time to crowd that box. Nakamura's corner. McManus unable to get near it. Well, Celtic will have their party and they'll make a noise, but Hearts are going to take the 3 points, it seems. 3 points that will mean so much to them. And they have specialised in being party poopers. They beat Hibs at Easter Road on the day they planned their League Cup winning celebration. Hang on a minute though, it's Hartley. And again, over and out.
Well, just tired legs in the end from Paul Hartley. He's worked very hard in this match. He tries to supply the cross to the front post. Jan Fenneroff Hesseling can't get on the end of it, and then he just tries to dink it back in. Doesn't catch it right.
Well, there's nothing better for non-Old Firm fans than coming to Glasgow and leaving with 3 points. Hearts are going to be very much back in the race for UEFA Cup place. They have 3 minutes to see this out. Oh, and Kanchelskis is going to get a yellow card for a rather ruthless challenge. The yellow card count is now 3 apiece, but the goal count is unlikely to be the same. Celtic running out of time. Lee Naylor with plenty of room to cross. Nakamura will surely have a go.
Almost. It's all about his first touch, because when the ball comes out, it's a difficult one to control, but bang, it gives him the chance of the shot. Very nearly.
Well, don't we just love it when a plan comes together, and Hearts do. Celtic frustrated in the first half, stifled. 2 quick goals for Hearts, and although Celtic showed signs of yet another recovery, Pospishill's perfect penalty put paid to that. Naylor came towards Venegora Hesseling, but Bearer won it. Just another minute of stoppage time remaining. And what a valuable victory this is going to be for Hearts as they look to catch up with Aberdeen, who have to go to Tynecastle.
As we said, 2 games at home now for Hearts. Edinburgh Derby as well coming up after Aberdeen. If they can get wins in both of those games, the Heat will really be on for that 3rd spot.
Gordon Strachan sent from the dugout, but he'll be all smiles anyway when Celtic get to grips with the trophy shortly. Stand up for the champions. Mind you, they don't like losing here. It'll still be a sore one, especially on the day they collect the trophy. It's not going to spoil the party too much. Of seconds remaining. No Celtic comeback this time. Gravison. Oh, Venegora Hesseling seemed to stumble.
It's just not Celtic's day. They've had the chances in this match, and this is another one. You fancy him from there, but he just slips.
Nakamura's corner. It's all over, and it's an impressive win for Hearts in the end. There wasn't much to shout about, but then suddenly Hearts pulled off a smash and grab raid in Glasgow's East End with a couple of quick goals, and although Stephen Presley scored against his former club, a penalty from Pospisil wrapped it up. Celtic suffering a rare home defeat, and the followers of Hearts believing that they are back in the race for a European place. Gordon Strachan sent from the touchline the 2nd time this season against Hearts. Kęstutis Ivaskevicius with his first goal for the club, and it was quickly followed by a Nakamura-style free kick from Andrew Driver. Celtic responded though, trust Nakamura to deliver perfectly. Stephen Presley, well, maybe Hearts thought that he was back playing for them, then nobody picked him up. Kingston though, taken out by Presley, and Pospisil had the whole ground virtually against him, but it did not show, and Hearts are once again within 4 points of Aberdeen as those 2 clubs battle it out for UEFA Cup place. Hearts pooped the party at Hibs not so long ago. They're not going to spoil it big time here, but they have got a valuable victory. It ends Celtic 1, Hearts 3.
There could be a British winner on the US PGA Tour tonight. Luke Donald was the 3rd round leader at 10 under par. Going into the final day of the Byron Nelson Championship in Texas. Watch it on Setanta Golf and Setanta Sports 1 from 8 o'clock. On Setanta Sports 2 at the same time, it's Portuguese League football, and both Benfica and Sporting are still in with a chance of catching leaders Porto. Well, Hearts know how to spoil a party, don't they? They hampered Hibs' League Cup celebrations. Now they've stolen the show from champions Celtic. Gordon Strachan was sent to the stand, but his team have a big prize coming their way next.